Now, we have a figure formed by two identical circles, center A and C. First things first, they ask you to find the perimeter of the unshaded part. They tell you that ABCD is a square. Why is it important to tell you that ABCD is a square? They need to tell you it's a square so that you know this is right angle. Why is it important for you to know that this is a right angle? Because then you know that this is a quarter circle. Technically speaking, if I don't tell you that that is a square, you cannot assume that this is a quarter circle. Okay? If I do not tell you that that is a square, a lot of you will assume that it's a quarter circle. But if you think about it from a logical perspective, right, I could have drawn two circles that overlap like that, right? Will you tell me that these are two quarter circles? No one. Right? If I overlap like that, will you tell me that these are two quarter circles? Also no one. So the reason why they have to tell you that that is a square is so that you can visualize that that yellow part is a quarter circle. And because that yellow part is a quarter circle, what makes up my shaded, or rather my unshaded perimeter, is the arc of one quarter circle plus the arc of another quarter circle. Okay? So your unshaded perimeter is equal to the arc of two quarter circles. And therefore, it is just 2 times 1/4 times pi. What is pi? 3.14. Be very careful here. It is times diameter, not times radius. So if radius is 15, you should know that your diameter is equal to 30. So it's times 30 here, not times 15. Don't make that careless mistake, please. Okay, so that will give you 47.1. All right, very common mistake where students forget that your formula for quadrant involves, or perimeter involves, the diameter and not the radius. I know some of you are times 2 times 15, which is fine. Now, let's look at part B. Why you all take, some of you take like 8 steps, 9 steps. What makes up the total shaded area? You should recognize the shape in the middle, right? What's the shape in the middle? The shape in the middle is a leaf. You know that it's a leaf because you can, that's precisely why they need to tell you that it's a square. Right? So you can cut it into two half leaf. Remember, how do we always find the area of a half leaf? How do we find the area of a half leaf? It's always a quarter circle minus a right triangle, right? Oops. So your this area is always this minus this, isn't it? Right? Agree? My drawing way beautiful. So what is the quarter circle? So 1/4 times pi times radius minus the triangle, which is half times base times height, right? So your examiner expects you to combine steps like this. We don't expect you to go and find them separately. We expect you to understand that if I want to find that particular part of the area, I will just combine this step this way. Okay? And that will give you 64.125 or 64.18. I know, right, Aiden? Picasso got nothing on me, okay? Now, I have found your shaded one leaf. From here, many of you like to go and find the area of the full circle, and then you like to times 2. And then the tricky part about that is that you need to then be able to visualize how many of the half leaf I need to subtract away. If you want to do it that way, to find the total shaded area only, you will actually need to minus 4 half leaves if you find the area of 2 full circles. So I don't recommend that y'all do that because a lot of you will minus the wrong number of half leaves. What would I have just found? I would have just found what is one shaded area like this. I would have just found this shaded area. Actually, why I use this side, I should use the other side that I didn't annotate. I would have found this area over here, basically. This is the area that I would find. And then I just take this area and times 2. Then I don't need to go and deal with the how many half leaves do I need to subtract. Because if I want to find one shaded area like this, it is just 1 circle minus 2 half leaf. It is very obvious, right? But if you want to find the area of 2 circles, then you need to be very careful about how many half leaves you need to subtract, which is actually 4. Okay, so sometimes don't make life too difficult for yourself. Visualize it in a way that is a little bit easier. We find the red color shaded area. All right, so let's call this area X. Let's call this area X. Okay, so my shaded area X can be found by taking area of a circle, right? Which is pi or 3.14 times radius. And then you just minus away your 2 half leaves, right? Okay. So the reason why some of your steps are very, very long is because you all don't combine steps, which I don't think is wrong. If you don't want to combine steps because you think that is easier for you to visualize the question, then you should go ahead and do that. Okay. So 3.14 times 15 times 15 minus 2 times 64.125, you will get 578.25. And that gives me my shaded area X over here, right? The red color part. Okay. And because that is my shaded area X, obviously to find your total shaded area, you just take 578.25, you multiply by 2.